This YouTube channel recently turned 4 years old and hit 10,000 subscribers. So I thought we better have a birthday and YouTube milestone party. And what better way to have a party than with avocado cupcakes that look like little avocados, which are made with actual avocados. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making some chocolatey cupcakes, and you wouldn't even know that avocados are inside them. Avocados are a fantastic substitute for products that have fat in them, so you can use it to replace oil, butter, egg, and that's what I'm going to be using today. The recipe I'm using for the cupcakes themselves is actually plant-based. It's vegan friendly. There are no eggs, there's no milk. I'm using a little bit of butter today as my choice. You don't have to use butter. I'm using it in the greasing of my pans, and I'm going to be using a little bit in the icing, but you could choose to use a vegetable-based icing. So let's begin. First, I need to gather my ingredients. For the cupcakes, I will need 1.5 cups of plain flour, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/2 tablespoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup of canola oil, 1 cup of sugar, 1 pinch of salt, a dash of vanilla paste or vanilla essence, and half an avocado. I start by preheating my oven to 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I grease 2 cupcake trays. This recipe yields 10 cupcakes, and I'm using butter to grease these trays, but you could use a vegetable oil or use cupcake pans. Then I mix the flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, and soda in a bowl with a spoon. Next, I peel my half an avocado and set the seed aside in a moment's time. I cut the avocado into small pieces and add it into this bullet blender for blending, along with the sugar, water, oil, vanilla paste, and salt. If you don't have a bullet blender, that's not a problem. A regular blender or a food processor will do. We just want to smush it all together into one liquid. Wibbly wobbly. Then I add my green goo in with my dry ingredients, and using my mixer, beat it into a batter. Once it's beaten, it's time to pour it into the cupcake trays. I use a spoon to help guide it. I then pop it in the oven for 20 minutes and set a time lapse so that we get to see them rising. But while we wait, I clean the seed and set it in a vessel to start germinating. And I have plenty of ways to start germinating seeds that you can find on this channel if you don't have a propagation vase. After 20 minutes, I take them out of the oven and I use a toothpick to probe one. If it comes out clean, it tells me that it is cooked. Then after cooling in the pans for 5 or 10 minutes, I transfer them onto a cake tray to cool properly. I expect this to take an hour or so. My cupcakes have cooled. I have set up my avocado seed to start growing in this propagation vase, and I am ready to make my icing to start turning these avocado chocolate cupcakes into cupcakes that also look like avocados. So I am using a buttercream icing today. Now you can choose any icing you want. If you want to keep these cupcakes being vegetable based, don't use the option that has butter, but I like it, so I'm going to use it. So I am using a really simple recipe here. I've got about 200 grams of icing sugar or powdered sugar. I've got about 20 grams of softened butter, and I've got about 2 teaspoons of water. You really don't need much water for this. And then of course I've also got some green food coloring to give it that green look. Let's get mixing so that we can get icing. I add the butter to the sugar, then gradually add the water, only adding a little at a time until I am happy with the consistency. I might need a little more, or I might not need that much. Then I add a few drops of the food coloring, mix it in, and assess if it's enough. If it's too pale, I can add some more. I only add a little at a time because it's really hard to take the color out. Then I can take my cooled cupcakes and spoon and spread the green icing onto them. So I've iced my cupcakes. We are now up to our last step. Avocados generally have a seed in the middle, don't they? What could I use for the seed? Well, fortunately for me, it's almost Easter time, so I've got access to Easter eggs. And that's what I'm going to use as the seed for these avocado cupcakes. I peel and add the Easter eggs to the cupcakes. I leave them a little off center and give them a little push so they're partially submerged in the cake. And there we have it. I know they look a little bit more like cupcakes Disney bounding rather than cosplaying as avocados, but they do indeed resemble somewhat avocados, from the chocolate avocado inside, which actually tastes just like chocolate cupcakes, to the green icing, which I have made with buttercream icing, but there are recipes out there which use avocados in the icing, but I was going for a more traditional chocolate cupcake flavor, and the seed, of course, in the middle. I am going to enjoy eating these now to celebrate the 4 years of Scott Grows an Avocado Tree here on YouTube, and if you end up making some of your own avocado cupcakes, they'll probably look a little bit better than mine, because I am an avocado enthusiast. I am not necessarily a cupcake enthusiast. Please feel free to tag me on Instagram at Scott Grows an Avocado Tree. I'd love to see what you get up to. Thank you as well, all 10,000 of you, for joining us. It was really lovely that the 10,000 subscriber mark and the 4-year anniversary came up around the same time. I'm blown away that so many of you are interested in joining me on this avocado growing journey. I think back to where I started 4 years ago. The person who I was, what I was doing, is very different to the person who I am now and what I'm doing. But what remains the same is that I am very thankful for you in joining me on this journey. So thank you, take care. I'm gonna eat these now and I will see you next time. All right, which one I'm gonna start with? I'm gonna start with this one. You wouldn't know there's avocado in it. It doesn't have any avocado flavor. It's just a fluffy, yummy chocolate cupcake. Oh, I should mention as well, I'm not going to eat all of these now, so I'm going to keep these in the fridge so that I can enjoy them for a few days. Just because of the way this is set up, I need to kind of squat down, which is fun. Also need to have sparkling water. I make mine with the soda stream. I like to have like 10 pumps. I like the punch in your face kind of bubbles, which you can do. Let me know in the comments what you like.
I think I should use teaspoons instead of tablespoons. That's really runny. I'm gonna start this again.
I've just been informed that the correct term is Disney binding instead of Disney bounding. It's just a fluffy, lovely chocolate. It's just a fluffy...
Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree.